Hey YouTube, Mike that tankless guy here. How we all doing today? Hope we all had a safe and productive week. Alright, today we're going to start with troubleshooting, repairing IntelliHot units. And we're going to go with the water flow sensor valve. So basically that's the water turbine. That's what detects the water coming in, vamps up a turbine, which then sends that information to the PC board, which then would vamp up and down the burner. All right, so let's show you first so I can just go over my phone, because like I said, it's very hard to plug this in. So here's a fault. I'll show you on the phone. That's what it will say. Okay, so flow sensor fault. And then with this is a 501, so it's 2 units up and down. So it's telling me it's the top water flow. They give you, contact information and what? Fault flow sensor wiring, debris in the valve, or plugged Y strainer. So that's what the fault. Now on a 199 or the wall hung units that only have one heat exchanger, it's just going to say water flow sensor fault. So, this is the part. I'll put it in the description. What you get is you get 2 new clips and 2 new O-rings. And then inside the bubble wrap, and I have it broken down here from an old one. This is what the water flow sensor looks like. So it's mounted like this in the unit, just like that. You have your thermistor, which actually checks your water incoming temperature. That's it. It's held on with that washer and that screw. Then you have your reader, which is right here. That's held on by that screw, which has a larger head. Goes through that hole. Then you have your motor. Which mounts onto the unit like that. Then you have your gearing. Turns 180 degrees, and that motor is held on with 2 screws that has washers already built on them. And you could turn this 180 degrees, and that motor will vamp this depending on what the reader mounts right here. And if you blow through this, you'll actually hear a zzz. That's the little turbine inside. Other units can be taken out and cleaned, but all right. I don't know how easy it's going to be for you to see it, but I'll take the camera off and show you how to remove it. So let me show you another little trick here. To keep this door open, I carry one of these spring clamps. So depending on where I'm working, I'll take the spring clamp and put it in so it prevents the door from closing on me. So you need your 10 millimeter, and I just keep this finger tight. You need your 10 millimeter socket to take the bolts off the bottom to open up the door. Now remember, you're going to have piping. You could have your return into here. So you're going to have this piping in the way. This unit happens to be very easy to work on. And what I do is that one screw, because remember, you don't have to put all 8 screws in. That one screw I put right there in the door, and I leave my socket in there. So let's take the camera off and look down in there. So that's your water valve right here. You have 1 wire, 2, 3. Your clip and your other clip. Now, draining out the pipe, if you had a drain on this, you still are not going to get water out from here, because water will not come back from down this, because remember, the cold water goes in through the bottom inlet fitting, through the heat exchanger, it gets heated up, comes out the top water valve fitting, and then to the system. So you're not going to get water out. You're going to get a good majority of water. So you're going to have to either get a small pan or something back there. Trust me, I just had to do one yesterday. You can't catch all the water. You're going to end up having to, with a rag, clean up some water within here. All right, so let me see if I can at least get a clip off here. So your first clip is right here. You want to rotate this around so that you can get to, yep, see, the first clip came off and it fell down here. This is going to be hard with one hand. You're going to take your clip, you're going to put it inside, because remember, you get new clips. Now you can remove this and get it up a little closer so you can get this wire off. Again, it's going to be very hard to do this with one hand. Yeah, let me see if I can get this camera down here so you could see it. No. That's what happens when you are by yourself. There we go. Hopefully it'll stay. Okay. Let's see if we can do this without making the camera go boom. So you got your one wire. You got your other wire. You're gonna have to rotate it, find a little piece, pull it out. And this thing, you gotta find that clip. Well, actually, you can take this other one off now. Rotate it around so you can get your fingers. And pop it off. Then find your little point and pull your wire off. Now, there's a zip tie. I'm not going to take this all apart. There's a zip tie that they zip tie this on with. So once you cut that zip tie, you're going to put the wire back on the same way. So now, you got that, you got your new unit. You have an O-ring here and an O-ring here. We're going to replace those O-rings. Now, let me just grab my... So in the kit, you got that plastic bag with new clips, and you got your grease. You're going to you're going to grease up, and then grease up the O-ring in your fingers. Then you're going to grease up and grease up the O-ring in your fingers, and then roll it on. So now we replace the two O-rings. Now we got our new part. We put our zip tie on. All right. Now you're going to plug. We in frame here? Okay. This one's a little finicky sometimes. Plug that in. And it's a lot easier doing it this way before you put the actual thing on, putting it back in. Sorry, I gotta take you out of frame because I'm half blind here. Now I got it. Now remember, you'll be doing this, and it's hot in here too. Like, these pipes are hot. Well, I got these things on right. I might have had them on wrong. There we go. All right, so now you can get this one in first. And when you put your clip on, make sure you hold it. And get it on and rotate it so it spins. Then you get this one on. And then you pop. Make sure it's in. Oh, there goes the camera. Thought I would have had you there. There we go, you can see now. I hope you can see. And then spin it. Once these rotate nice and freely, you know they're in. And I just push that one out. Push it in. There we go. Now it's, see how it's spinning? Rotating. Get you back up here. With bad knees, bad shoulder, bad everything. So that's what it would be to get these in. So the clip is actually going around here, mating up with the other piece, so it's almost like a male adapter that mates into here. So that's to swap that out. Now, of course, you're going to take power off. So you're going to disconnect the power. I know I forgot to mention that. And you're going to shut down the cold and hot water. Now again, if you at least take pressure, you pop the relief valve, you take pressure down. Even if there was a drain, or if there was a union, you broke it and you took off the water. It's only going to get water out of that bottom. This valve is not open. Water will not come back through here. So I guess I'm losing my electric in here. I'm flashing. So that's the procedure of swapping that out. Then once you get the system back on, turn your water on, turn your cold on first. Once you hear the pressure stop, pop the relief valve. You want to bleed out the unit. Then you're going to get your little screwdriver, go into the pump. You're going to loosen that screw on the side that I showed you from the previous video. You're going to bleed out the pump. Once you did that, that's done. And you have no more air coming out of your relief valve, because remember, you're going to bleed out all the way to the top. Then you turn your hot water on. Then plug the unit in. go through for what the video I showed you last week on the screen, and your fault will be gone because the unit, the valve has been replaced. I mean, most of the time with that, if this is level, the door will stay open. But, you know, sometimes you got piping or whatever here and the door might close. That's why I pinned that thing on. All right, let me back this up a second. All right, so that, like I said, for a unit like this is a fairly easy fix because there's nothing in the way. But on a 401 or a 501, this is up higher. There's another heat exchanger down here. And then there's two valves that come off that pump. You always pray to God that it's the upper because the valve is closer. If it's the lower, it's in the back exactly where what I just did. And you got to work through this door. You cannot work down. You have to work through that door. Literally almost laying down. And then feeling for the things. So you need some type of thin pan that they make a moldable pan. I just bring a lot of rags and let the water come out onto the rags and then mop it up. There's nothing electric down there. And once you take the pressure down, pop the relief valve, there's no pressure on the system. So it's not going to spurt out and go all over the place. All right, YouTube. I hope you're enjoying this series. Again, I'd like to thank all of the likes, the comments. Hit that bell. Please subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. And I hope you're all doing well. All right, YouTube. You all be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.